Good evening. My name is Mr. Sultana, and I'm the head of English and Media Studies faculty at Oxted School. Today I'm going to run through some key information and details that you will need for your child in Year 9 English. The Year 9 English curriculum at Oxted has been designed to introduce your child to the Key Stage 4 English Language and Literature course. Our units of study have been selected based upon their links to the texts and topics that will be examined in Year 10 for our early entry pupils or in Year 11. Each of the topics covered will build and enhance upon the necessary skills and knowledge that your child will need to succeed at GCSE and beyond. This begins with our current half-term Autumn A, where we are introducing the novel A Christmas Carol. This continues into Autumn B, where we will look at the themes, the characters, and the settings, as well as how Charles Dickens has used language, form, and structure. Autumn B ends with a short unit on speaking and listening. In Spring A, we will do some dedicated creative reading and writing work, which is directly linked to the English language portion of the course. In Spring B, we introduce the first post-1914 drama text, which will be Blood Brothers. This continues into Summer A and will help build a foundation for your child in their understanding of post-1914 drama. This ends in Summer A as we start to look at poetry, in particular the parental side of the anthology. In Summer B, our study of poetry continues, and we also use some dedicated time for English language, particularly English Language Paper 1. The exam boards that we use at GCSE are the same for both English language and English literature. It is AQA for English language and AQA for English literature. In GCSE English language, the course is made up of two separate papers. Both of these papers are equally weighted and therefore equally important. Paper 1 is based on creative reading and writing. Within this paper, your child will look at one fiction text and answer 4 questions about it. These questions are worth a total of 40 marks, making that portion of the exam worth 25% of their overall grade. In Section B, they will complete one extended writing question, also worth 40 marks, and therefore 25% of their overall grade. In Paper 2, they will look at non-fiction text, 2 of them. They will read and respond to 4 questions about these 2 texts. This paper is different in the sense that your child will need to compare the 2 texts to each other, which is something they did not need to do on Paper 1. They will also have a writing section of this paper. It is also worth 25% of their overall grade. In GCSE English Literature, there are again 2 papers. The first paper is Shakespeare and 19th Century Novel. The Shakespeare section includes one question which is based upon an extract with responses linked to the whole play. And in Section B, they'll look at a 19th century novel, and it includes one question based upon a theme in an extract with responses linked to the whole text. In Paper 2, they will look at modern text and poetry. Section A is based on a modern drama, Section B, anthology poetry, and Section C, unseen poetry. In studying English literature, it is often useful for a student to have their own copy of the text. This enables them to make annotations as we go through reading the text, which they can later look back upon during their revision for their exam. There are 3 texts that we would recommend you purchase now in order to support them with this. Those 3 texts are A Christmas Carol, Macbeth, and An Inspector Calls. Blood Brothers will only be studied in Year 9. It will not be used for GCSE exams. Therefore, it's not entirely necessary for that text to be purchased. Knowing what the examiner is looking for is often useful for giving your child direction in terms of what they could be doing at home and how they should be improving their responses. 2 things that they can try to do in both English language and English literature are to focus on discussing the effect on the reader while also trying to remain critical in their responses. This involves a close analysis of the effects that are created and the methods used by the writers. Home learning in Year 9 is very important to complement the learning that we do in class. As such, your child will receive 30 minutes of English homework each week, plus an additional 30 minutes of reading. Some of the home learning that you might see are quizzes designed to reinforce the importance of vocabulary, extended writing pieces for both fiction and nonfiction, and also reading comprehension tasks and activities. Classes in Year 9 are currently set based upon progress from Year 8. In Year 9, regular assessments will be used to identify the individual progress of each child. Their class sets will be reviewed each half-term. However, changes only occur when there is clear evidence of progress that is either beyond or below that of the pupil's current set. Parents are often curious about what they can be doing to support their child's progress in English. And one of the best ways that you can do this is to read and discuss the text that we study at school with your child at home. You can also discuss other fiction and nonfiction texts that you have read personally with your child. This helps to reinforce the idea that reading can be done for pleasure in later life and isn't just something that you have to do at school. It's also helpful to ask about their English lessons and what they have enjoyed or found difficult, as well as to quality check their home learning each week. Further, since this is the beginning of Key Stage 4 for your child, it is helpful to encourage them to be making clear, legible notes, as many of their exercise books will function as revision guides in the future. Thank you for listening to the short presentation on the key information surrounding Year 9 English. Should you have any further questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to contact myself, Mr. Sultana, as Head of English and Media Faculty, or Mrs. A. Emney, who is the Deputy Head of English with responsibility for Years 9 and 10. Thank you.